The answer is yes. She has been that way her entire life. Yeah, I know you're wondering. I'm just telling you. I've known her since the first grade. I was second grade. She was first grade, and she's been Kath her whole life. She is the sweetest person I've ever known, and continues to be that way. So anyway, it was good for her to start off because nobody can say it quite like she can. So appreciate all that everybody's doing to help us. This is a special week, again, as she said, and our foundation has gotten into the modern times. You can actually text now, so that's pretty cool. But appreciate everybody's support. And these are really cool. Rich Davies actually, I think, came up with the idea. And, kind of like, I guess, the back of the helmet, kind of like you got, I am Death Valley, and it's pretty neat. So, Phil, this might be your size. This might fit you just right. So, you might get the first one. Yeah. Those are great. Those are great. And speaking of I am Death Valley, we're excited to be back at Death Valley this week, be at home. Looking forward to that. I'm glad it's a Tuesday. It's like really a Tuesday today, so that's a good thing. But it's homecoming, and I always enjoy this week. In fact, I rode by Sunday down main part of campus there by Bowman, and just looking at all the stuff, the pylons going in the ground. The Habitat home being built, all the students out there with the scaffolding going up and the floats. It's really a fun time. You can just feel the energy on campus every year, and the planning that goes into it. It's not like they just start planning this week. There is an enormous amount of planning that goes into building those floats and all the stuff that Central Spirit does here on campus. We have a wonderful organization called Central Spirit that really is kind of part of the heart and soul of the pageantry of Clemson. So it's always a fun time. We got a big challenge with NC State, and a team that we really kind of, as we've gotten dialed in on here the past few days, very impressed with. Biggest thing is they've got 17 starters back. Got 8 back on defense and 9 back on offense. So this is a veteran football team. And when you look at their defense, they're not just starters back, they're all seniors and juniors. And then offensively, they got 2 or 3 graduates. So, their quarterback is a transfer from Boise State. So this is a veteran team that I think is playing well. They're playing with a lot of confidence, obviously coming off a big win over Notre Dame. I think this is the best team that Coach Doran has had. And just, again, the experience, a few recruiting classes in there, and kind of getting the philosophy of their program in place. I think they do an excellent job. And the biggest thing this week is, there's only 2 undefeated teams in our division, and we'll be battling for that first spot this week. And so big challenge. Somebody's gonna leave Saturday afternoon in control of their destiny, and somebody's not. So both teams want the same thing. Both teams want to win the division. So this is a championship caliber type of game this week in the Valley, and we're looking forward to participating in it. Offensively, they're averaging 400 and something yards a game, 34 points a game. They brought in a new OC from Boise State. New offensive line coach as well, came over from App State, and the quarterback from Boise graduated and transferred to NC State. So very familiar with what they're doing. I'm impressed with what they're doing system-wise. They want to run the football first of all. That's what they want to hang their hat on. But a lot of good complementary plays that come off of what they're doing. A lot of formations and personnel groupings and speed motions and things like that. So just very impressed. The quarterback is 4th in the country in completion percentage right now. He's thrown 9 touchdowns, has 0 interceptions. So he's been very accurate, very efficient, and again, knows their system inside and out. So good football player that's playing really well for them. Their running back, we're all familiar with 21. He's I think top 15 or so in the country in rushing right now, averaging 113 a game. He's a very good running back. He's tough. He's a guy that really can play anywhere, no doubt about it. And then their offensive line is athletic. They're physical. They've added a couple of big receivers to their core this year to go along with number 7, number 13, who are two excellent receivers. Hines is one of the kids that we recruited here at Clemson, and he's a kid took a kick back to the house on us last year. He's a really fast guy. So he and 13, very good players, but then they've gone out and added a couple of 6'2 plus guys to that core with 12 and number 3. So I think they're doing a good job with their receivers, big tight ends. Every time we play NC State, I always have these big tight ends. That hasn't changed. But the guy that I don't really know what to call him, is he a running back? Is he a receiver? Is he a tight end? Is he a fullback? And that's number 1, Samuel's kid. He's a great football player. He really is, and they use him in a lot of ways. I don't. Again, it's hard to really classify him. You know, he's kind of a tweener in a lot of different positions, but man, oh man, he can run it, he can catch it, he blocks. I mean, he does everything for them. So he leads them in touchdowns, leads them in receptions. A very, very dynamic player that hurt us last year too. In fact, we did not play well. It's probably our worst game defensively last year was against these guys. We gave up 41 points. Had a bunch of opportunities to get the quarterback on the ground last year, and we could not tackle him. Had some chunk plays that we gave up, but he is a very good player. So a big challenge for us there. And then defensively, they're 8th in total defense. They're 8th in rush defense. They're 15th in scoring defense. So another good defense. I think this is this and Auburn are the 2 best fronts, just D-line fronts that we've seen. A very good group up front here. Very active. They've got good quality depth. Got a couple of guys that we recruited hard here, so very familiar with them. Again, they've got 8 starters back, so a very good group over there as well on defense. Special teams, their punter leads the ACC in 46 yards a punt. I think he's only had 1 punt returned all year, I believe. So, you know, big challenge for our teams there. And then we were very poor in this game in special teams last year. Gave up a kick return, gave up another couple of returns where they got some chunk yards and good starting field positions on us. So, you know, their returner, number 7 and number 13, these are 2 guys we're very familiar with that hurt us last year. So it's a big challenge, and again, one we're looking forward to. And the big thing I would say, and again, going back to this shirt, I am Death Valley. I love that. I hadn't seen that till today, but I think that's great because our fans are Death Valley. You know, there is no Death Valley without our fans, and the standard has kind of been set high here. And I know there's a lot of people out there, or some people out there that aren't happy with playing a noon game, and we don't have any control over that. Sometimes I think people don't understand that. I love night games too, but you know, we don't have any control over that. That's what I tell our players. We got to play great whenever we play. We play at noon, 3, 8, 9, 1 in the morning. We got to play great. That's what we're supposed to do. And I would say the same thing to our fans because they make such a huge difference. I mean, a huge difference. We started the game out against Louisville with 2 penalties in a row, right out of the gate. So my message to the fans this week is that same fervor and intensity and will to win and spirit that we had at 12 midnight against Louisville, we needed at 12 noon against NC State, because it's a huge game. It's a huge game. It's a battle for first place in our division, and gives us an opportunity to try to get to 7-0 and stay on course to accomplish our next goal, and that's win this division. That's what we got to do. We got to try to find a way to win the division so that we can have an opportunity to go and play for the ACC championship. And we don't get many home games, so I just want to challenge our fans to, you know, let's show up, let's be ready, and man, let's get up eat a biscuit, and be ready to roll at high noon. Because our team's going to be ready, and we need that energy from our crowd for sure, and that challenge. So with that, I'll take the questions.